Hey guys, it's Graham and welcome to another episode of Drone Talk.
And I'm Tim, and today I'm going to be bringing this thing out into the wilderness to really see what it can do. All we have to do now is find a vehicle small enough to really test it out.
Now, as you guys know, the Mavic is incredibly easy to travel with and super fast to unpack, so within seconds I had the thing up in the air, and even though this is my first time flying it, I had absolutely no problems with it at all. So a quick flight control check, making sure everything was good, it was rock steady, and I instantly started getting footage like this. Now, a lot of drones nowadays are based off the yaw and how smooth they are and how precise the commands are, and I had no problems with it at all. It flew exactly how I would think something like this should fly in order to get that cinematic footage. Even with a wide field of view, just like most drones and most cameras, I had no problem judging the distance and where my props were, so I felt confident within about a minute of flying to start sending it out through the woods and getting those epic shots that you should be trying to get with something as small as the Mavic. The Pacific Northwest has some of the best views in the world, so I turned it instantly around. I wanted to check the depth of field in color, and as you can see, it's picking up that fog, the snow, and the green all at the same time, and it just looks amazing. This shot here, the cliche drone shot, took a little bit of time to get, trying to adjust the home point, but it really wasn't much of an issue. Right now I'm shooting in D-Log, and I'm going to bring up a example here of what the original footage looked like compared to with just a basic filter like I've been using. And you can see the D-Log shoots great, allows for a lot of editing, and it's a really powerful camera in such a small package. Now, we didn't want to just stay in one spot. There's so many trails out here and so many things to see, so we moved up about a mile up the trail, unpacked, launched again, and wanted to see what else was out there, and then test out some of the other features too as soon as I got a chance. You can see it's snowing and raining a bit. I'm trying to look around to see where I want to go. I don't think I can quite make it out to those peaks, especially legally. Flying around, and I ended up, hey, I wonder what's below me. So I look down and bam, right on top of a perfect river. Looking around at it, and I decide that this is the perfect time to test out the point of interest and how smooth this thing actually is. A quick slide to where I think is going to be a good distance for the orbit, and we're pretty much already ready to go. As you can see, the results are absolutely amazing. It just goes to show that the technology is exactly where it needs to be. So unpack your drone, go out, see the sights, get out of your backyard, and start using the features that they offer, because they're absolutely amazing and it's so easy to do. After the point of interest, I wanted to bring it back down to the ground where the interesting stuff is that you don't really see all the time, and try out the tripod mode. In this, I still had the sensors on, and that was really where the biggest problem was. I mean, the aircraft is so easy to fly, so intuitive, and a great camera on it that I had no problems flying in between these trees, which usually gets me great shots, but the forward-facing sensors is what really held me back. You can see right here, I'm trying to figure out where to go, and the only other issue there, you probably saw a little bit of pop in the screen of the auto-focusing, adjusting on all of those little different trees and the background, the foreground, and trying to compensate for that. Still amazing footage, but not that great if you still have the obstacle sensors on. Now, if this was my personal drone, they would have been off, and I wouldn't have been worrying about it, but wanted to play it a little safe and try to get it through. Here's another shot. You can see I'm backing up and trying to figure out exactly where I wanted to get through this thing and where it was going to allow me to. I wanted that really mossy look and try to fly down through this, and it definitely took a little bit of almost like jigsawing or puzzle piecing, whatever you want to call it, to get through there, but it did eventually allow me to go through. Now, everybody wants to talk about how the Mavic is great for traveling and packing and hiking and getting up to the top of a mountain, But they don't always talk about how the Mavic is so small that you can go through something like this and get this shot. You're not going to be able to fit through here with an Inspire. If you are, I wouldn't risk it, first of all, no matter what kind of shoot you're on, because it's probably not going to make it. But you can't even walk through this kind of stuff or use a jib or a dolly through this. But you can with the Mavic, so it just goes to show that to use the tools. I did finally get through, and it allowed me to get the shot. One of my favorite shots ever is reversing dolly through the trees. It just looks cinematic, and I always love it. I love the Mavic. It performed exactly how I wanted, and I will definitely be adding it to my tool bag.
Well, you know, that was a really, really good review, Tim. You know, you really went through a whole bunch of the features that the Mavic Pro has, the active track you spoke about, and you know, you were kind of giving some hard times to the other reviewers because they typically review the active track feature, but you actually had some really interesting results.
Yeah, so I didn't want to do a normal brochure test, basically, just standing on the beach, not really using this thing. I wanted to throw it out there and see what it could actually do. I did end up finally doing active track, but I definitely put it through its paces.
Well, should we show them maybe what happened?
Yeah, I think so. Let's check it out. It actually picked us up. So let's see. So this is a very, very tight corner. Is it gonna clip on the inside? I can see it back there. This is super. Okay, so the truck is like going through a branch, nice and slow. So that, okay, it's picked it up. Oh, it avoided it. It did. Oh my god, that was so close. Oh my god. All right, there's a super thin branch on the right side, nice and slow. Give it a chance to pick it up. Please don't hit the branch. It's just screaming the whole time. My phone's vibrating. It's working though. It is working. Now, given we're only doing about 5 to 10 miles an hour, so we're giving the obstacle avoidance a chance to do its thing. But, I mean, like I said, this is not mine. I really don't want to push it. God, this is so loud. How do I gotta turn that beep down. All right, you wanna go again? Yeah. Let's do this again. Try bringing it up just over 10 miles an hour. We'll see how it does. This is so scary. It's already, oh, okay, stop, oh, stop. It hit a branch and recovered.
Oh my gosh, what the heck happened?
Well, active track, I think it technically passed in that. I mean, I ran it into like 3 trees and I tried to avoid all of them. So.
It did a really good job at avoiding the first 2 branches. Mm-hmm. The third one, it got close, but it wasn't quite there.
Yeah, but the IMU is so amazing in that it knew it hit something, and it wasn't just like, okay, emergency mode into the ground. It continued to fly.
So it didn't crash.
Right.
That was the big thing, is you didn't crash the Mavic.
Yep.
You did chip a blade, which, that's okay, that happens.
Right, easy to replace.
What would you rate this on a 1 to 5? So in the DroneTalk scale of 1 to 5, 1 being...
It's awful.
Just throw it in the garbage, 5 being, this is the most amazing thing I've ever flown. Right. Where would you put it?
I'd say it's a solid 4. And it does pretty much everything that it's supposed to. I mean, it's got a great camera. Obviously, it's durable. And it's really intuitive to fly. I love it.
You really look forward to seeing what you do in the future with your other wildlife opportunities. You know, you better get back to the bush.
I think that's a good idea. You're certified now, right?
You know, I might be, yeah.
Can you hold this?
Absolutely, yes sir.
Appreciate it.
Yep.